Right. So in order to stay within the schedule, I suggest we start right now while people are still joining. Welcome everyone to today's BlockRocket monthly startup pitch event this September. Today we have another 5 amazing blockchain startups from the DACH region presenting themselves and 3 jury members selected by BlockRocket to judge them on. But apart from the jury, you'll also be able to judge the startups at the end of the session. There will be like a little poll popping up that you can click on the company that you like best from an investment perspective. That's maybe important to keep in mind. And then at the end, there's something to win. But more on this by BlockRocket MD Benjamin right after my little introduction here. Before I hand over though, some quick logistics. If you have any feedback, you have any questions, we're still not using the Zoom chat because it's a bit insecure. We're using this WhatsApp group. If you want to join, if you have a question to any of the startups, then just scan this QR code. And if the scanning doesn't work or you don't have a camera at hand or whatever, then the link to that group is also in the email you received with the Zoom link in it. So just click on it and it will open the right WhatsApp group and you can just type right away. Benjamin, who will moderate the Q&A sessions with the jury members, will also check the chat to bring in some questions if there's enough time. If there isn't, then don't worry. The startups are also in this chat, so they can also answer your questions after this event is over. Thanks a lot for joining, and I'll now hand over to Ben.
Hey everyone, I'm Benjamin. I'm the managing director from BlockRocket. Maybe just a few words about the setup, as Jan already pointed out. So we have 5 startups today, all quite early stage. 5 minutes pitch per startup, 5 minutes for the Q&A. The Q&A is mostly led by the jury, but as Jan pointed out, you can also post questions in the WhatsApp chat, and I try to consider them as much as we can. There will be a voting at the very end, and now I just mentioned a few quick words about us, and then I hand over to the jury, and then we start right away with the first pitches. So, can you see my screen? Does it work? Yeah.
Yes.
Perfect, cool. So BlockRocket, we are an early stage accelerator for blockchain startups that are active in the German ecosystem. So you don't have to be a startup from Germany, but Germany should be one of your main markets because that's where we can deliver most of the value. We invest up to 100,000 euro tickets into startups. We are active in multiple cities in Germany, so Berlin, Frankfurt, Munich. Now due to Corona, everything is online, as the event today is a good example. We achieved quite a lot the last 1.5 years since our program started. So we had more than 150 applications from startups so far. We work more or less with about 40 in different stages of our program. We have partnered with more than 200 different organizations in the German ecosystem. We contact with most VCs and investors, and we host events regularly. So before Corona, we're basically part of every major blockchain conference that was happening in the DACH region or in Germany. Now it shifted to online events. For next year, we expect this to go on more offline events again. In terms of partnerships, it's quite diverse. So it's ranging from consultancies to tech companies to research institutes and universities. And we offer different, so unlike other accelerator programs, we offer different stages of our program. So we do not necessarily invest in each startup that we work with. So we have a more light version of acceleration program for other startups. They can just apply to our program. We can help them mostly with networking services and marketing. So giving access to our events, trying to support them with matchmaking with our network. And it goes up to making investments ourselves. In any case, if that sounds interesting to you as a startup, the more early stage you are, the better. Even if you're just a team and you have an idea and you have a business plan, feel free to reach out to us. We're always excited to look at new blockchain use cases and new business models. And if you have any questions, then feel free to shoot me an email. So far, so good. That's it from my side. Now I would like to hand over to the jury so they can introduce themselves before we start with the first pitch for today. So, Peter, would you like to mention a few words about yourself?
Sure. My name is Peter Cullen. I've been in venture capital private equity for 30 years, ran the 3i office in Frankfurt for many years. Last 15 years, I've been a business angel, investing primarily in early stage technology companies.
Perfect. Thank you. Wolfgang?
Background in 3 areas: consulting, venture capital, private equity, and also direct entrepreneur in several startups and larger companies. Been in venture capital for 20 years and excited to see what's possible based on blockchain technology today.
Thank you. And lastly, Raman. You're muted, Raman. Jan, can you check if he can unmute himself?
Yeah, I just checked. You should be able to unmute yourself now. Yeah.
Yeah, I hope
Perfect,
this is
now.
working because I was not able to do that before. Hi, Ramin Ghaffari, Siemens Treasury. Before joining Siemens Treasury 10 years ago, I was in consulting for about 10 years, all about strategy solutions. The small blockchain is not only important at Treasury for us, but also for our operational businesses. With that, I'm very interested about our 5 candidates are going to pitch today. Looking forward.
All right, great, thank you. Then yeah, before we start, so at the very end, as pointed out, we have a small voting for the startups, for the performance. So the jury will have a voting and you as an audience have the chance to have a voting. It will happen after the 5th or the last startup for today has done their pitch. And as a prize, we always announce a winner, like a startup of the month. So we will cover them an extra article. We will reach out to our media partners. We support them with a few extra intros. And yeah, so far for the program. And then I would suggest we start with the first startup, which is Sofia from Amazing Blogs.
So, hi, good morning from my side. My name is Sofia Balogianni and I'm the CEO of Amazing Blogs. We are a newly founded stock company based in Liechtenstein, and we are focusing in legal tech blockchain solutions. And what we're doing is we want to help blockchain startups to build their stock operation based in Liechtenstein. So we advise the whole process within the steps, and also we're providing a software, so our token pad, in order to share these equity tokens to the company, and also the tokens for their assets they want to tokenize in their company. How you can imagine that? So in Liechtenstein, they introduced the beginning of this year the Liechtenstein Blockchain Act. This allows us to have like a token container model. So you can imagine that like a flower vase. So you have a legal wrapper, your Liechtenstein Aktiengesellschaft stock corporation, where you can put all your assets, so your flowers, inside and tokenize them. So this means if you are a blockchain startup and you want to found your stock operation, you have this legal wrapper, and then you can put any asset you want. So you can put cars in it, you can put diamonds, rights, so any asset, and then tokenize and distribute it to different shareholders. And this is completely new because Liechtenstein, they're pioneers in this area, and they're allowed to distribute equity tokens that is only allowed in Liechtenstein, so for the first time in Europe. So, and why this is so beneficial is that you have your stock operation fully automated, so you can distribute your tokens on the blockchain. Everything is remotely. You have this fundraise on the go because you can distribute the shares, and you can trade shares between other shareholders within just a few minutes, so just a few clicks away from the new shareholders. Then we are the first company that was founded without any cash distribution. So we had Ethereum as a stock contribution, and this was for the first time. Then what's also nice is that you have a faster incorporation with the system because it's everything digitally. And what we offer is this Liechtenstein, based on this Liechtenstein Token Act, you can manage your digital legal entity so 24/7 without have any lawyers for every transaction. Then you can use our software also 24/7. And as I told you, it's completely fully autonomized. And yes, this helps us. This is also very interesting for real estate companies, assets and funds, and also, yeah, different shareholders who want to tokenize their assets. So the pain points with setting a legal entity nowadays, the traditional way was, so we experienced this by our own. We wanted to have like our Liechtenstein stock company. It was about 4 months of a lot of work, a lot of paperwork. Then you can imagine it, you have like one step from the legislators from Liechtenstein, and after you're doing your steps, they're talking, okay, you have to do 100 more steps. So it's a lot of time consuming, it's costly, paper-based, and yes, it's completely the old way of establishing a company. And what we offer is a new way. You have us as an advisor, and also we're providing our software. So it means that we are going through all the steps you need to establish this Liechtenstein stock company. So we are finding a lawyer together, a trustee, then how to find a Liechtenstein bank in order to, to have your money there. But we're also helping with our software to have like a digital share with our token pad. You can also have like a PDF of your shares register with all the different shareholders. We have this digital asset investing and ownership transfer within, as I told you, a few seconds, a few minutes in order to transfer the ownership. The digital fundraising aspect, as you might think, it's really easy and fast here with the shares and participation shares. Yes, this makes things quite easier. And also we are offering this engagement in ESOP programs. Yes, I think that's also a good plus point in this section. And yes, with our platform, so this is how it looks in the intro page. You can, within 5 smart contracts, establish your digital legal entity. We are offering just at this moment registered shares, so Namenaktien, not carrying a share, so Inhaberaktien. This will be done in the beginning of 2021. So at this moment, we're just offering this registered shares. And yes, we have different partners already. We have advisors from Liechtenstein, the law section, Nigele Ennerton are famous in this division. Nigele was also a partner from the Liechtenstein legislators to establish the Liechtenstein Blockchain Act. And yes, if you have more information, you can also contact me via LinkedIn or write me an email.
Cool. Thank you for your pitch, Sophia. Then I would suggest we start right away with the Q&A. Are there any questions from the jury side at this point?
Yes, Sophia, if I may, who are you competing against? If your service didn't exist, where would people go to?
So that's a good question. So as I told you, we are just allowed in Europe to have like this equity tokens. So to issue like ownership from different assets. Where people also could go is just normal tokenization platforms who are issuing security tokens. But this is from a debt perspective. So you can do this also now, for example, in Germany. But what we are doing is you can have these equity tokens and have also in the background like a different rights you backed up with this equity tokens. And that's completely new. So we're the first company who is doing this. So this point of time, I think we are the only ones who can give you the service from the equity perspective.
Mm-hmm. Sophia, this is Peter. Can you talk about your tech stack? I mean, just how unique, proprietary is it? It sounds like something which is actually quite generic and which can be copied quite easily in other jurisdictions, which also go down the Liechtenstein way.
So what do you mean exactly? So I didn't get your point.
Can you talk about just how your technology is protected?
Protected. Yes, so we have a partner who is doing our technology with us and is protected by our law partners. So we have Nigele and Ennerton, and as I told you, Nigele is one of the main partners from the Liechtenstein legislators who created this new Liechtenstein Blockchain Act. So they are our advisors, and they're checking every step we are doing with our platform. For example, as I told you, we have this digital shares register, and the shares register has to be exactly the same order as the traditional one. So it was highly complex to, for example, preparing a document, so this digital shares register, who is updating every time a transaction is happening, and who's also 100% is giving us the legislative point of the Liechtensteiners. So we have this with our partners who are give us advice and also like a check that this is legally.
Okay, I guess my question was, what development team are you working with?
A development team from the technology, you mean?
Yeah.
So we have partners like Mikobo, so German token platform, who are providing us with help with this software.
So this is completely provided by them. This is Ramin speaking, Sophia.
Yeah.
Or are there in-house competencies on your side as well, meaning in Amazing Blocks? Is this completely outsourced to them, or?
Yes, it's outsourced to Mikobo. So it's our idea of how we want to establish, how to want to have like a token pad, and they created this token pad according to our visions.
All right.
I guess
this leads me. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry, I mean, you go ahead.
No, thank you. So, Sophia, this leads me to my next question. So, there is obviously then on the cost side of a major block towards Mikabo. I would be interested in your business model. How is income generated, and how does that balance against the cost side, which we are partly starting to understand?
Okay. So our cost structure is we have a setup fees that is about 4,500 Schweizer Franken, so Swiss francs, and monthly costs of about 400-500 Swiss francs. And yes, so you have to imagine, you have also to keep in mind that having like a legal entity in Liechtenstein, you also need a lawyer, you need a trustee. So when you want to have a Liechtenstein Aktiengesellschaft, so stock corporation, you need to have a trustee or a CEO who's operating in Liechtenstein. And then you need also like a post address, so like a usual company. I think that are the cost points you need for establishing your company. So does this answer your question?
And the income side, what happens there?
So you mean income side from our side or from the customer side?
Yeah, from your side.
So we are, as I told you, we have like the setup fees that are like income, and also monthly costs. So with this monthly cost, we also want to cover like some gas fees and also some customized solutions for different customers. Because so as I see this time, we have different customers who want to have their solutions integrated with our token platform. And sometimes this also needs to be adapted with our token platform. So we have to make customizable solutions for that. But we're also offering that, so this time there's no problem with that.
Thank you.
Okay, I would cut in and control at that point to hand over to next startup. Thanks for the pitch, thanks for Q&A. If you have any other remaining questions for Sophia and Amazing Blocks, feel free to post it in the WhatsApp group, and then Sophia can reach out to you directly.
Yes.
Thanks, Sophia.
Thank you. I'm happy to receive a lot of questions, so feel free.
Perfect. Then second startup for today is Gabriel from Doxychain.
Yeah, can you see my screen?
Yes, can see your screen. Perfect.
Okay. Hi, my name is Gabriel Dymowski. I'm co-founder and the CEO of Doxychain. Doxychain lawyer-grade platform for online contract management. And now I have two questions to you. Would you risk to sign a very important contract to you online? Or which of digital platform you trust same as your lawyer today? We in Doxychain don't trust it to any existing platform so far. So we decided to change the trust paradigm by harnessing the blockchain technology in a document management space. We don't gonna reinvent the process, and it will be easy. You can upload, collaborate, sign, and track your document in Doxychain space but all will be backed and secured by the blockchain technology. And we see that for market we are going is rapidly growing. The market maker is making a 25% growth year to year, and within the next 6 to 7 years, we see that this market is rapidly growing. And so far, you can see that there is some existing players, and you can see there is a great competition at this market. But what we are doing, we change the trust paradigm to the system of document management, and we believe we can be a completely new value in this space. How it looks the growth strategy. At the very beginning, we are looking for the legal firms, which we consider as the most important entity in the document management. Next, we're gonna go for the rest SME market, as well as for the corporation world, which we already have talked, and we see a great space for cooperation as well. If it comes about how to make money on our project, it's really easy. We are B2B SaaS platform, so we distinguish, as you can see, the three packets which we will build our users. And if it comes about traction, so we so far developed an MVP of our application, which gave us a great recognition in the legal tech market. We received a letter of intent from the legal firms and even from the city's president of the cities, one of the biggest cities in Poland. On the right-hand side, you then see two very important entities for us for the next future. One of these is the biggest reseller in the legal tech, which we really close cooperate, and yeah. So there's a roadmap, and as you can see, today we are under developing our SaaS platform, and we already achieved a lot. I mean, we went through the acceleration with one of the biggest insurance company in Europe. We received a pre-seed fundraising. We have a meeting with a Polish Ministry of Digital Affairs, which says in the public that the Doxychain has a great potential even in the public space of document management. We have already tested our Doxychain platform from the legal, business, and technology point of view. Now we are ready to get our early adopters and release Doxychain SaaS in Q1 2021. If it comes about investment journey right now, even though we are developing our product, we're still looking for the partner which can facilitate with some financial support. As you can see, we are looking for seed round right now, which is 500K euro for 20% of our company. And we have a really great team. I mean, there is only 8 of us, but right now there are involved almost 22 people. There's the most important people like our CTO, CMO, and CLO, because we touch really close legal tech space. We have been working for really strong institution, mainly financial, and startups like Omisogo or Golem and Warsaw Stock Exchange. We are the part of the advisory group in Ministry of Polish Affairs. And if you believe that we can change together space of document management, we are building the most secure one. So feel free to join us, not only as an investor bus, but we are looking for the early adopters and people who are really has a great view about in German market, how we can together change the document management space. Thank you.
Cool. Thanks, Gabriel. Then are there some questions already?
Yes, hi, Gabriel. Ramin speaking. I would like to talk a little bit about your product and your solution. I understood that you are very much in that electronic signature environment. Is that correct? Providing the simple, advanced, and qualified e-signatures. Is that right?
Yeah, but we see the document proceeding as a process, and obviously signature is one of the most important. And within our system, we have 3 kind of signatures, which is created by us in a fully accordance with eIDAS directive. And as you probably know, the qualified signature can be delivered only as a third party for trust services. So this is the only thing which we are receiving for the external provider. However, the simply and advanced is completely created fully by a Doxychain team.
Understood. Thank you. And are you a certified according to EIDAS
Yeah.
group or company? Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good. Okay.
Yeah. From the very beginning, we know how legal aspects were important. So, in cooperation with the best, we're so loyal. We create a protocol, but the signature and the KYC in fully compliant in accordance with EIDAS directive.
And if you work with trust service providers, is that only within Poland or also in other European areas or countries?
No, so far, if you provide any of the European country, you are respected in the whole European. So right now we have because still the qualify is not as you can see, the official launch of our product will be Q1. So we are in conversation, but we didn't choose so far any specific one. So we are open to discuss any opportunity for cooperate as they felt.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Do you have some other questions? Yeah.
Maybe I can just, if you could just go back to the slide with the competition. I mean, obviously, document signing is a huge space, no doubt, and it will become the sort of de facto standard for signing business documents. Now, the elephant in the room, or the elephant in the area, is, I understand, it's DocuSign. Yeah, that's the current. I mean, they are huge, and if they decided tomorrow to adapt blockchain in their technology, how would you deal with that? Because obviously they are extremely well funded, aren't they?
Yeah, thank you, sir, for this question. And for sure, DocuSign see a huge opportunity in a blockchain as well, and they are open to communicate it broadly, even 2 years ago. However, the issue is once you create a software which exists so far in 15 years, it's not easy to change it. And once Doxychain architecture at the very beginning has a blockchain in the heart of our solution, and actually the blockchain is not only a space where a backlog go to the blockchain, to the secure database, but we have a created smart contract which is responsible to have all logic create. Once you create a document and send to me, I have to send, and there's a smart contract behind. And DocuSign puts some standards, it's for sure, but even they see that the blockchain is a future for document management system, and we believe at this stage we can be much faster than them. And here as a CEO, I see a huge advantage in comparison to DocuSign once we can really quickly develop our product, having a blockchain in the heart of our solution.
Gabriel, I'm missing Adobe Sign, who are also big in this area. Why are they not here?
Because Adobe I see as a same feature provider as a DocuSign, so I don't gonna multiply the representative of the same group. I mean,
help me to understand the documents. Are they stored on chain or off chain in your solution?
Okay, so the document itself is off chain, because otherwise it will be extremely heavy blockchain. We are using proof of authority to be a really quick and to scalable. However, blockchain itself, the document, these fields, it's not a blockchain. You can read from the blockchain, obviously, all metadata, who using which kind of signature, what kind of transaction, etc., like from the Ethereum. But the document itself, it's not stored on blockchain. Nevertheless, it's still a durable medium. We have the same as a lawyer accepted from the Warsaw that our solution, we have the fields itself distributed in a cloud, but only a hash from this document went to the blockchain. So,
okay, Gabriel, one last question from me, Peter. Can you just talk about how you expect to get into the much larger European markets of Germany and France and perhaps the UK? I can understand you get a lot of traction in Poland, but in your business plan, do you have money for marketing spend to get awareness in these larger markets?
Very good questions. Thank you so much. For this purpose, we would like to really close cooperate legal firm. Why legal firm? Because the whole business considers lawyers as a very important body in a way of document management, and it really trusts them. And we have a conversation with the most respected legal firm in Poland, in a C region, even in UK, and we see that we can convince them to use our platform, not a DocuSign, etc., using a blockchain technology and the security which we gives them. And once the legal firms will use a Doxychain, we believe that they can be spread this solution through the SME market and the business which we are cooperate with those legal themes. So our growth strategy is really clear. We would like to, at the very beginning, focus on the legal themes, deliver to them the value, and then there will be naturally spread like a Revolut on Slack and evangelized by the most respected in the area of document management. I mean, legal themes. So this is our strategy.
Thank you.
All right, thanks for the overview. We have to move on, unfortunately. So there's also a question in the chat. Feel free to reach out to it directly, Gabriel.
Thank you.
Thanks for your pitch. Then yes, we move on to Mohammed from Certus Digital.
So good morning, everybody. My name is Mohammed Sultani. I'm the founder of Certus Digital, an early stage startup located near Frankfurt, and looking for a seed investment which bring us through the incubation and acceleration. And our goal is to bring digital certificates to everyone. So the problem we are trying to solve are that we have the year 2020 and consumers are still missing the digital availability of important documents like payrolls, contracts, certificates, and identity documents. And that's because corporates, governments, institutions have a lack of access to technology to provide these documents in a verifiable digital form peer-to-peer. And existing services are always limited to special use cases and do not provide a full service integration. So what we need is a place where consumers can store and organize documents digitally, independent from the use case, and simplify the access to a peer-to-peer blockchain-based network for all corporate sizes by providing great usable and web services and application interfaces. So what we can do best is programming. I am happy to present our end user application, which combines following products. First, the digital file, where you can store any kind of documents self-sovereign. And second, the digital mailbox, which gives users the ability to receive mails in quality of the registered post. And third, the digital identity, which gives users the ability to prove their identity for other e-commerce services. So to simplify the onboarding process for corporates, we support them by offering a template shop where the most common templates can be installed and used with no configuration effort. And we believe that this is also a key factor for success, to simplify the usage for all participants as far as we can. And to integrate also small corporate sizes, we offer the web form, which enables them to perform blockchain transactions like big player. And for e-commerce, we provide the checkout service, sees as a PayPal, but just for contract agreements. So the providers will have less bounce rate and more security on both sides. So the business model is quite simple and based on transaction cost. End user products will be free of charge. Issuing digitally signed documents costs up to 10 cents, and that's where corporates save money and are able to offer digital solutions to their customers. And for each service, we charge the contract provider with a rate, which still needs to be defined, and this will be hopefully done with our investment partners' expertise together. And with a general setup of our application, we can deliver these services to any industry segment. Our focus are sectors with high repetitive transaction volumes to generate a fixed income, as example with payrolls. And we look forward to integrate the checkout service in comparison website, also for large sectors. So to give you an example of the income opportunities, we have a look at the payrolls in Europe with 2.7 billion payrolls a year, with 10 cents of transaction cost and 1% market share. The revenue will be about 2.7 million euro, and this only for one sector. And in contract signing sector, as example, Adobe Design performed over 8 billion signings in the past 12 months. With reaching only 0.1% of the market share and the fee of 10 cents as example, the revenue will be about 8 million euros per year. So the competitors which uses the same technology like us are mostly focusing on special use cases for user and access management or document signing, which will end up, unfortunately, again, in multiple apps for customers. And from our perspective, they offer fewer services to integrate all market participants. And Certus Digital is independent from the use case perspective and offering simple access and a lot of services. At the moment, we are 3 team members, Besart as full stack developer with over 30 years experience in payment, API, security, and web application, and Tobias with 8 years experience in enterprise process management systems, and me, the founder, with 15 years experience in exchanges, banks, and insurances, specialized in process management. And we are looking forward to find a team member who supports us also in finance, sales, and marketing topics. So what we need at the moment to get forward is a partner who guides us with strategy, mentoring, and knowledge, and of course, capital to bring our idea to production level. So we hope you like what we did so far, and thanks for your attention.
Awesome. Thank you for your pitch.
You're welcome.
Then, yeah, let's start off the Q&A session.
Mohammed, with services like this, there's always a huge barriers of entry.
Yes.
How do you plan to address those, especially public authorities are very slow to adapt new technologies?
You see, the applications which are available at the moment, like from DATEV or SAP, they are also working on blockchain technologies. But what we do is we also write plugins ready for installation for this software. So to make these softwares blockchain ready. So if we have a plugin for payroll as example, this software is able to perform blockchain transaction per API with Certus.
And the advantage for the likes of DATEV would be what exactly? I mean, would they save money by using your tool?
No, DATEV not, but the companies who are using DATEV, when they want to send the payrolls to their employees, they need to pay as example, 80 cents fee for the post. And with a digital solution, they can provide this payrolls instant peer-to-peer to their employees. And that's where we want to get to market, to write a bunch of plugins and application for big softwares who have a big, large transaction rate, you know?
Okay. So this is Peter. So following on from Wolfgang's question, can you just talk about your I mean, what are then the next steps specifically to get your product in use?
Yeah.
So I guess this is marketing.
Yeah. Our product, we developed something like the MVP, and a lot of features are done, but there are still features we like to develop to get into market, because the existing solutions which are developed, I can send you after also the link to these apps. When you open them, you feel as a user, not, how can I say it?
Taken seriously, or
not taken seriously. The application is not usable from the user perspective. Yes. You see our application here. It is the common design and following what users need and not what companies need, because at the end companies need plugins to make their application blockchain ready and don't want to invest a lot of €1,000 to build own blockchain networks. Mm-hmm. So we have also legal questions about digital signatures, which needs to be clear, and also marketing and sales. As I said, we need also a team member for this.
Mohammed, did you say actually that your product is not completely finished yet, right? That's what you say.
Yes, of course.
In your understanding.
Yeah. We are in the seed phase. We did a lot of implementations, but there are some features missing to bring it to a production level, also from the security aspects. Yeah.
And having done or reached this stage and level, have you already had interaction with potential customers? How were their reactions?
With potential customers, not, but we are in contact with IBM, who are also working with other competitors from us, like banks who are building the same type of applications, and they were really impressed with that what we built it, and say they could not realize how far we are with our implementations.
Nice. Okay. Thank you.
They like it a lot.
Where is your workbench? I mean, looking on your team, is it you guys here in Germany only, or do you have also colleagues abroad somewhere else?
No, we are all here located near Frankfurt and working all from home office.
Okay.
All right, nice. I have to move on, unfortunately, to the next startup. Thanks for your pitch. Thanks for the Q&A. There's, I think, again, a question in chat. Feel free to follow up.
Okay,
and
thank you.
Next, I would like to hand over to Holger from IP Ocean.
Yes, hello. Let me quickly share my screen. So I think it's still the wrong one. There we go. Oops. So let me introduce myself. I'm Holger from the CEO of IP Ocean, and I want to quickly introduce you to our platform. We are providing on-demand protected B2B marketplaces for solutions and innovations. And we all know how important solutions innovations are to companies. Either you survive, you need that, but also to really be successful in these markets. The world is getting more and more complex. And on-demand, online protected marketplaces, you simply can't provide solutions, sensitive information via your web page because everybody competition is seeing it. So why is that not working? Oh, here we go. So what's the problem to do that really online? So solutions innovation provision. The point is, first of all, ownership protection. How do you really secure that the data you have on your site is your data? And if you're providing it to other people, you can prove in the end you have that was your data. On top of that, if you go into an exchange in a marketplace, how do you make sure in the end of the day that you can sign agreements on the fly, NDA to ensure confidentiality for the other terms and conditions. And on top of that, how do you really leverage today's existing networks? They're pretty strong, they're broad, you can use LinkedIn, but how to leverage and keep everything, ownership, protection, and agreements on the fly in place. So we developed a solution, an on-demand B2B network. IP Ocean itself is an on-demand B2B marketplace where you can push the stuff. You can bring everybody on there. The people can create, and we created, so we solve for the problems up front. You can create your on-demand groups, marketplaces where you can let people in. You can more or less invite them. People can knock at the door to get in, but you can also have closed groups. But you also have agreements on the fly. You're signing up in the end of the day with your blockchain identity. We have solved the e-signature here. We're working with trust providers. We are currently discussing with with ID now to really get these signatures done. And you have all in the agreement on the fly together with your data that is secure. We have also ownership protection because the stuff you're loading onto or you're posting into your web page is in the end ownership protected. And you have, because of blockchain technology, everything is blockchain technology in the background, you have all the verifiability and proof. And there are a lot of use cases for enterprise that we have a lot of feedback. Simply on-demand B2B marketplaces. We are currently first pharma company started creating this one, a company out of California providing here to Europe Catalyst technology. These are marketplaces. On the other side, you can also start open innovation challenges, asking for innovations in your marketplaces or on the platform. But you also can simply do confidential and trusted data transfers, because that's what the platform can do. It's pretty simple. You have to log in as you're logging into a bank. So we have an iOS and an Android app so that you have your blockchain identity, your private key sitting in a wallet on your smartphone. You're logging into the bank. When you're using all our protection, then creating your marketplace, creating your content, you can leverage existing networks via the sharing links and all the functionalities. So you have all the functionalities you need on such a platform. Everything is verifiable in the end, and your digital assets stay with you, not with us. So we are not the owner, and we are not seeing any of the information, which is important. The market opportunity is big. We looked from it from a top-down, bottom-up perspective. Keep it short here. The serviceable obtainable market is more than 100 million. There's a lot of leverage into other areas as well. That's the reason why the TAM is so big. And we are seeing no really competitor close to IPOcean. A lot of people are providing either single technology solutions, but not a platform on top. And all the other ones, big ones, they do not have the technology in place to really come up with, in the end of the day, the nitty-gritties to have really blockchain in the background. So we're the only one who have a virtual legal process in the background and who provide, in the end of the day, really on-demand marketplaces and groups. So with a strong traction, you're seeing a couple of people where we have letter of intents. A couple of them are now starting their pilot projects. There's also Sun Pharma as our first client on the platform. There are a lot of network agreements already in place. And our market adoption is pretty simple. We're kicking off pilots, marketplaces, open innovations. And the key thing is here, our B2B partners, they're inviting their B2B clients. So they're seeing the platform. And so we are converting these guys also coming onto the platform and becoming clients here. And then we are converting them into paying clients. The key thing is the pricing. It's cheap. So if you build the stuff yourself, it costs you 50 to 100,000 K, especially if you're a small company. So here your pricing level is pretty low. So that makes sure that everybody will come on the platform, and to provide your content, it's for free to these marketplaces. We have a very strong team, deep experience on all the key domain fields, technology, industry, finance, as well as networking and marketing. And we are currently looking to more or less kick off our platform. We went live 4 weeks ago with a full platform with our iOS app and Android app, which stabilizes and really secures the identity of the people. And we're looking to 500K up to 1 million in order to really kick off our sales initiatives, because our pipeline is simply exploding currently. So we have a lot of people and a lot of traction there. We're discussing with partners who make connections to China. We're talking to Fraunhofer, we're talking to A-Star in Singapore, Helmholtz Institute, which is validating our approach. And all the startups here, I invite you to join the platform, present your stuff there as well, because we're also pushing the stuff out via social networks, especially if you have confidential information, you want to share your business case with other investors, other people. That's exactly the platform we have here. We have a number of startups already on there. And looking at it for startups, it's for free currently. And so therefore, happy to answer any questions here.
All right, thanks for your pitch, Holger. Then let's dive in right into the questions. Are there any questions from the jury at this point?
Yeah, Holger, this is Peter. Your 500,000 is basically to increase your headcount. What is the can you talk about your tech development? I mean, you mentioned the team, experienced team, yeah?
Yes.
Is there an outsourced development team behind that?
Yes, we have 2 teams. One team, so the basic technology is one of the founders. It's Emil Stoyanov. He's running also the recheck company. We have there the development team who's doing all the platform stuff, as well as all the blockchain technology. And they're working closely together to really deliver the platform. We have the technologies covered also. So the process to do that is covered in a patent. There's a patent application pending. And the blockchain technology is Ethereum based. So we are running a blockchain parallel to Ethereum. And so therefore we also develop APIs and Rust APIs for the business participants or the B2B partners, because a couple of them want to push things in via APIs, which is important. That's the reason why we have the development team available. But we are not growing currently. We only grow the development team slightly because everything is available. And we need rather getting the people on board, setting them up together as the marketplaces, and to make sure we're not losing them, inviting their business partners here, because that's a market approach, market adoption approach. Thank you.
You seem to have a strong relation or connection into pharmaceutical and chemistry companies, Holger. Where does that come from? And are you call it certified in regards to that?
Yes. Why do we have a life science focus? I'm a chemist. I studied chemistry and was in pharmaceuticals. Holger Banks was in chemistry and pharmaceuticals. I have an MBA as well. That's the reason why we have a pretty strong network in exactly this area. My network is, I don't know, we are reaching about 5,000. I'm reaching about 5,000 board members around Europe. Holger Banks is the initiator of the European Chemistry Partnering Bank, an event that after 3 years had more than 1,000 participants. That's the reason why we are strong there, but we are seeing the demand is in each and in all industries. So we are focusing on life science because we have the strong network, and we are seeing the key clients are really rather in the beginning for us, are rather the SMEs, because they do not have a platform currently to push out their information, especially more sensitive information, which makes a web page relevant, because currently web pages have not really relevant information, because you don't want to share everything with everybody, and web crawlers are simply collecting the data, and here you have a protected way doing it. And the end of the day, looking at the pricing is low enough that the people simply start doing it, and that's what we are currently seeing. We came up front, if you have seen our pitch, I don't know, 3 months ago, we rather came from individual solutions or individual idea collection, or rather the open innovation way. We have seen the clients came back to us and said, we have so many innovation, we want to have a marketplace for that. And we simply said, it is there because we never marketed this way. It's rather the users have driven us now into this on-demand marketplace approach, because they simply want to use it. And they have, the nice thing, they have this virtual legal process in the background. So they're securing their content, and they're starting the virtual legal process in the background. Then they exchange the information. They have an NDA signed, and it's highly precise, because you simply have the hash saying what the information is you're sharing. You don't have this precision in any other NDA, and that's exactly why NDAs are weak when it comes to I don't know, any friction in court.
That's very interesting. So this is how you achieve IP protected, right? I haven't still understood the completely, but find it very interesting that your tag and your claim.
Yeah, I didn't get the full question, so I understand. Yes, we are targeting. So I hope I answered the question the right way.
Yeah.
Yes, we are targeting IP protection at one point in time, but also sensitive information. But we are far ahead. We are before patents, so if we are on an idea level, innovation level already, and people start collaborating in the group as well. Yeah.
I have to, unfortunately, we have to move on to the last startup for timing reasons. I would suggest otherwise, feel free to catch up later. Reach out to Holger directly to the group.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for the pitch, Holger.
Thanks.
Perfect. Then, yeah, let's move to the last pitch for today, which is Ahmed from DigiFarm.
Hey guys, just share my screen. Please let me know when you can see that.
Can see your screen, yes, works well.
Okay, excellent. So good morning, my name is Ahmed Abdullah, founder and CEO of DigiFarm. And at DigiFarm, what we want to do is really create a digital foundation for a health economy that really takes into account cost effectiveness and sustainability from start to finish, really. So we are an organization that's based in the UK and Switzerland. We are an independent solution, so we don't take any funding from any pharma company, any insurance company, or any healthcare payer or anything like that, just because of the nature of the contracts that we wish to process. We're part of several accelerators, including the BLOCKROCKET labs, and we've also received the first phase of the Horizon 2020 EU funding. So I'll get straight into what we do and what we're trying to solve. Healthcare is moving to, healthcare payments specifically are moving to a value-based approach. That means paying for healthcare technologies, whether they're drugs, devices, or services, or even digital applications, based on their performance and no longer based on how much healthcare you consume. So being paid on how well a patient benefits and moving away from how much of a drug you take or how often you see a doctor. And this is to really help create a sustainable business model in healthcare. However, when trying to implement some of these agreements, we saw that there was an absence of a dedicated medical information infrastructure that enabled data to be shared securely and in a trusted way, because the burden of proof for the price of drugs or for the price of healthcare then becomes patient data and patient outcomes. And this is where we utilize blockchain technology, which enables all contracting parties to see the data as it's collected in near real time, and then eliminate the administrative burden of linking outcomes and to pricing conditions, eliminating the manual processing that's currently seen. So our platform, which is built on R3's Corda solution, sits between all the key stakeholders within the health economy. It's applicable to not just pharmaceuticals, but many other areas within healthcare. We have an international patent pending for our system, and we also have an ERC20 tokenization system as well to incentivize patients to share data and report their experiences and how well they're benefiting from their healthcare. In terms of our commercial model, we work as a software as a service model where we will charge a specific license fee for implementation within certain treatment centers or hospitals. And then for one of our applications, again, which is for collecting patient experiences, again, charging a license fee and a small fee per patient as well. In terms of the market size, this is a market that's going to be growing over the next few years. We surveyed more than 60 stakeholders within the pharma and healthcare industry, and more than half of them have said they still haven't implemented their first performance-based agreements, but they will expect more than half of their commercial payments as organizations to be performance-based by 2025. So it shows there's a great opportunity for us to be early and really be part of the infrastructure for the solution. We have a experienced team from within the healthcare industries, but also within the technology industry as well, who have deployed similar technologies into healthcare environments. In terms of our competitiveness, we feel that we focus on a very specific area within healthcare contracting that can make us unique. And we've also recently made some very important partnerships that enable us to really become a thought leader within the area as well. In addition to that, we have some really interesting traction with pharmaceutical companies and also governmental organizations. For pharma companies, we try and help them get their drugs into markets by these performance-based agreements. And then for governments and insurances, we're really there to help them optimize their budgets and really get the most benefit out of their money for their citizens. And we're trying to raise at the moment around 400K USD. So we have a soft commitment from a partner for a co-investment of 200K. So we are looking for somebody to really be a lead investor and get that initial 200K in. And we'll use that to develop the platform, grow the team, grow our sales team, and really take off from here. Thank you.
All right, thanks for your pitch, Ahmed. Then before we head over to the Q&A, now's the time for the voting session. So I would ask the jury to use the form that I've sent you and submit your scoring there. You can start with Q&As after you have submitted your form. Jan, can you activate the poll for the audience? Okay, so everyone who is participating today can vote for their favorite startup, and we evaluate the scores together with the jury scores, and we will announce them after the Q&A, so like in 5 minutes.
Okay, Ahmed, one question. Obviously, healthcare systems and reimbursement policies are very different from country to country. How scalable is your system in terms of applying it in the various jurisdictions?
So we've actually built a platform to be very flexible and very modular, which then enables us to really implement these agreements between all these different stakeholders in these different environments quite easily. So, you know, at the end of the day, as long as there is some sort of outcome that we can measure, or some sort of performance threshold or KPI that we can measure and we can link to, that's, you know, what's really important for the smart contracting. Then we are able to work around some of the differences in the processes, you know, outside of the software, really. And you know, a lot of the time we do have to take a consortium-based approach to this. We can't, you know, just try and convince one of the stakeholders. So we try and bring in all the stakeholders together at a single time and try and, you know, establish the best way to implement it.
I had a question from me, Peter. Can you go to the slide, the competition slide, on your USP points? Yeah. And I think this is an area which is obviously so inefficient that it is going to attract a lot of solutions. I wasn't quite sure exactly. Perhaps you can just talk us through this slide again, and where you think you're going to get traction, because there is a lot of interest in this area, also from not just from the startup area, but from kind of more established players who probably have more more contact to the decision makers.
Yeah, no, I mean, from what we see is that the established organizations and those who should have set up systems with these capabilities have not done so, and have still not released those to a level that, you know, stakeholders are satisfied with. And that's why we've been able to get traction from many of the contracting parties within healthcare. A lot of the competitors here, the majority of them are US based as well, and in the US, which is a company that we're not really, a country we're not really targeting. A lot of the processes are different. It's very much a claims-based system compared to the countries that we're really focusing on. We're focusing on certain organizations that we know, countries that we know contract and work in a certain way, and we're targeting certain reference countries with certain regions. So Western Europe, we're looking at the UK as a reference country. If we're looking at Asia and the Middle East, we're going to look at Saudi Arabia and Turkey, because we know if we are able to implement in those countries, then a lot of the countries around it will really take a look at our solution seriously.
Because you're in a market where there's a lot of vested interest. I think probably the UK market is one which can break up quite easily because of the obvious inefficiencies that have come out in the last few months. Germany and France would be much more difficult to break into. That was the end of my question.
Thank you.
Do you see
that? Speaking. Go ahead.
No, I just wondered if you see that. You see your focus is very much on the UK.
It wasn't until the start of the COVID pandemic, to be honest. We were focusing on emerging countries, and we did want to have, you know, a few showcases within emerging countries and then taking it into the NHS. However, now we are in advanced discussions with a few trusts and also the Wales as a whole, as they're building a national health information exchange. So we're in discussion to be, you know, potentially a national contracting partner, and we're in similar discussions with a few other countries as well.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Then, yeah, then from our side, so we just evaluated the scores. It was a pretty close call. So from the audience side and from the jury side, there's been a bit of a difference. So jury scores count 75%, audience score counts 25%. The winning stuff for today would be a close call, Doxychain. So second pitch. So congratulations to you, Gabriel, and the team. We would post an announcement, or we would like approach you for an announcement and help you with some extra intros if you like. We will contact you for that separately. At this point, I would like to thank everyone for participating, especially the jury and the startups for today. And yeah, if you have any other questions, feel free to use the chat. Feel free to reach out to us or to the startups directly. And from my side, I hope to see you at the next conference in October. We will probably also be on site at the Crypto Assets Conference in Frankfurt, which will be one of the first offline events again. And at this point, I would like to hand over to Jan from Disrupt.
Yeah, also from my side, thanks a lot. I'll also be at the CAC next month. There's also a Disrupt discount voucher if you want to sign up and get a ticket. You find it on our LinkedIn page and our Facebook page. So just click on that link and you get a discount. Yeah, thanks a lot to BlockRocket for helping us organize this, to the jury for being part of this, and of course the startups for presenting themselves and taking the time to build up that pitch. I hope you all took something away from this, and I hope to see you again very, very soon. Our next event will be tomorrow, so just check it out on Eventbrite. Goodbye.